What goes on, guys? Sarcasm here, and today I have some TDM gameplay on the map Village. This is probably one of my favorite maps in the game. It has a lot of different lines of sight. It has some close range encounters, some medium and long range encounters, so it's a pretty good mix. And the other reason I like it is because there's a lot of wide open areas, so air support really puts in work on this map. You'll see a little later in the game my kill streaks just completely dominate the other team. But you'll see a lot of that a little later on. But the main thing I want to talk about in this video is the mini-map and how to use it effectively. So I feel like the mini-map in Call of Duty is an extremely underrated tool, and a lot of players, especially the newer players, don't really know how to use it well, or they just take it for granted. So yeah, I want to use this video to help you guys understand it a bit better. So the first tip I give you guys right off the bat is that you can use the mini-map to determine where the other team is, even if they're not showing up directly on it as a red dot. So on the mini-map, your team shows up as little triangles, and you can use process of elimination. Like wherever you have a teammate, you can pretty much almost always guarantee that their team is not there. So in the areas where your team has control of a part of a map, that's probably where the other team is not. So you want to go to the different areas of the map that your team is not controlling. Now, this is not always the case. Like, you're not always gonna find enemies on the other side of the map, and I'm not saying that there's never gonna be enemies near your teammates. This is just a general rule of thumb, and this is especially true in Kill Confirmed and TDM. And I say Kill Confirmed and TDM because they have very similar spawns. They're pretty much the same. And objective mode is a little bit different, but this also applies to objective modes as well. So yeah, you just go to parts of the map where your team is not, and you're pretty much bound to run into either the enemies or their spawn, until of course the spawns flip. Then it just go back to the other side of the map and repeat. Another really great thing about the mini-map is that you can see exactly what direction your teammates are facing. So this is really helpful if, say, you're guarding an area or a building, and one of your teammates is, say, guarding the front entrance. Then you'll be able to see exactly which direction he's facing and what part of the map he's guarding. So you can use this information to defend and guard a different part of the map, a different direction. And it's really good for setting up, bunkering down, and controlling an area. Also, one of the greatest uses of the mini-map is that you can use it to kind of plan out your route. Now, if you see like a bunch of people, you see a bunch of red dots at a certain part of the map, you can use the map to determine the shortest and safest route to get to the enemy. What I mean by this is you can use the map to pretty much just see where you're gonna go and which direction you're gonna take, where there's probably not a lot of traffic, where you can flank effectively and be able to take the enemies out without a lot of trouble. And you can do this all before you actually make a move. So the last thing I want to talk about is what not to do from the information you get from the mini-map. Now, I know that a lot of people, especially the newer players, I used to do this, as soon as they see a red dot on the map, they immediately just sprint right towards that area. They don't give a shit about anything else, and the red dot is all they're focused on. Now, this is something you definitely do not want to do, because first of all, when you're just focused on getting to one place and one place only, you're not aware of your surroundings. And on top of that, there's a lot of people who run assassin in this game, so there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be able to cut you off and take you down before you even get to that point, unless you're careful and tactical and you take out everybody in your path before you actually move forward. Now, this also applies to objectives. There are some people who just run straight towards the objective over and over, and they don't give a shit about anything else. They just are completely focused on the objective, and that's it. I kind of want to compare this to, it sounds stupid, but it's kind of like racing horses, because before a race, their owners will put on these blinders on the horses so they can't really see anything outside around them, and they're just focused on running, and they're not aware of their surroundings. But in Call of Duty, you want to be aware of your surroundings, and when you just focus on one point, that's pretty much what it's like. It's basically like you have blinders on, and you don't give a shit about anything other than that thing, and it's gonna get you killed a lot. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Leave me some feedback in the comments below, and yeah, that's about it, guys. Peace.